Welcome to another week in GTA Online with new bonuses and discounts. And welcome as well to the things you should definitely take advantage of in this week's discounts. This week runs from June 5th to June 17th, and that's because a new GTA Online DLC is just around the corner. Rockstar officially announced it this week, saying, keep an eye out for information about a new update coming to GTA Online later this month. More details to come, so we can expect more news later this week. Knowing all this, leave a like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. Starting off our list with the first property of the week, arcades are 30% off. These properties are available on the Maze Bank Foreclosure website, and if they're not showing up for you, it's probably because, if I'm not mistaken, you need to talk to Lester in Mirror Park? I don't know, something like that. Then you'll get access to arcades on the website. There are 4 arcades here in the city, and honestly, there's not a huge difference between them. Still, the ones I would recommend are La Mesa and Vinewood, mostly because of their location on the map and how close they are to the Diamond Casino. But if for some reason you want to go to one of the others, it's fine. Just completely avoid the ones in Grapeseed and Palito Bay, please. For the love of God, do not buy one of those. As for the renovations, the style is completely irrelevant, it only changes the arcade visually, same goes for the mural, the floor, and the neon art. As for the extras, you can get personal quarters, which I absolutely recommend right away, just like with most other properties in the game. However, the high score screens are a no, avoid these. And the last one gives you access to a garage with 10 slots. It's not a good looking one at all, but if you need garage space, go for it. The arcade is split into 2 floors, the ground floor and the basement. On the ground floor, you've got the legal part of the business. You can buy and use arcade games here to generate a small amount of passive income, which I'll explain more in a second. You can also watch TV, grab a drink, buy snacks, and use the jukebox. Pretty much all of those are useless, but hey, they're here. Now let's get into what actually matters, the passive income. On your PC, you can buy arcade games, and yeah, they're pretty damn expensive. What you're gonna do is place the machines in the available slots. The more you have, the more passive income you'll make. But you don't need to buy 35 different machines, which is the number of slots. You can just buy one and duplicate it multiple times to fill everything up. That way, you're not wasting millions for nothing. Most machines are really expensive, but some cost around 150k, and you can make your money back fairly quickly. If you fill all 35 slots with machines, you'll earn $5,000 per in-game day, which is 48 real-life minutes. It's not insane, but you'll find yourself occasionally checking in and boom, you've got $100,000 sitting there, which is pretty sweet. So if you're low on cash and want to make money efficiently, just buy one of the cheaper machines and duplicate it. If you've got money to spare and want to try out different games with your friends, go ahead and get some variety. Also, on your arcade PC, you've got access to extra upgrades like the Master Control Terminal and the Drone Station, which I recommend avoiding. The Master Control Terminal used to be only available here in the arcade, but it's now available in the Terabyte, which is better since you can access it from anywhere on the map. That said, it's still a great upgrade, so if you buy personal quarters, you can spawn here directly, which comes really in handy. So if you already have the Terabyte and the Garment Factory, get the terminal there. If not, the arcade version is still a solid choice. I'll explain what it does in just a second. Moving on to the basement, which you can access either from the back of the arcade outside or from inside by interacting with the Lester arcade game machine, which opens the hidden passage. The first thing you'll see on the left is the Master Control Terminal if you've purchased it. It lets you manage most of your businesses in the game, which is super handy and in my opinion one of the best investments any player can make in the game. If you go down these stairs right here and take a left, you'll find the setup boards for the Diamond Casino heist, which in my opinion is the most fun heist in the game, even though it has a super annoying bug that sometimes prevents you from completing it, which honestly made me give up on it for a while. First, you'll have to scope out what's inside the casino vault, and this week is guaranteed diamonds, which is amazing, giving you a chance to steal up to $3.6 million, which is absolutely insane. There are 3 types of entry approaches, and once you learn how to handle each one smoothly, it becomes a lot of fun. Then you'll go through the mandatory and optional setup missions, and finally start the heist. One thing you need to know, you'll always need at least 2 players. So if you're a solo player, you can basically ignore the arcade altogether. I don't recommend it for solo play. Once you've completed the gunman setup mission, you'll unlock a weapon workshop right here in your arcade, where you can customize and upgrade your weapons, which is always useful. There's not much else to say about the arcade except that your garage, if you bought that renovation, looks like this, and your personal quarters are located right here behind the heist planning boards, giving you access to a gun locker and a wardrobe to change your outfits. Moving on to the second property of the week, we have vehicle warehouses, also with 30% off. To buy this business, you'll first need a CEO office. If for some reason you didn't buy one last week when it was discounted, you can still get one by going to the Dynasty 8 executive website and purchasing any of them. After that, on the PC in your office, you'll be able to access Vehicle Cargo tab, where you'll see 9 different options for warehouses. The one I recommend the most is either the La Mesa or La Puerta, depending on your preference and whether you already have other businesses nearby. None of them are absolutely terrible, but there are definitely some that are much worse than those two. You can also renovate your warehouse, but even though I'm someone who usually likes adding upgrades to most of my businesses, I honestly don't recommend doing it here. For example, I have the branded interior, and even that one doesn't look particularly nice. I just don't think it's worth the price. Just like the special cargo warehouses, you'll be using both the PC in your office and the one in the warehouse itself. Here you'll select source vehicle, which will start a relatively quick mission where you'll steal a vehicle in various ways. After stealing it, you'll deliver it back to your vehicle warehouse. Inside your warehouse, by accessing the laptop, you'll find the export and collection tabs. In the export tab, you'll see the vehicles you've sourced and can export them. You can filter them by value, name, range, and position, but what really matters is the range, and here's why. There are a total of 32 vehicles you can steal, and they are divided into 3 ranges: the standard, mid, and top range. There are 10 standard and mid-range vehicles and 12 top-range vehicles. What you want to do is keep sourcing cars back to back until you've collected all 20 standard and mid-range vehicles. Once that's done, every new source mission will always give you a top-range vehicle, which is exactly what you want since they sell for the most money. That way you can just get into a rhythm. Sell, source, and since you filter out the lower tier cars, you'll only be getting top range vehicles without running out. Once that's set up, choose one of the top range cars and select export. If you have associates helping you, you can export more than one car at once, which is even better. Then click export again and always choose specialist dealer to get the maximum payout. Since this week is offering double money, you'll pay 40k to export, but you'll get 200k back, meaning 160k profit per car. That might not sound crazy, but if you sell in a public lobby with more than 20 players, you'll get a session bonus that can bring your payout to $300,000. Subtract the $40,000 cost and you're looking at a total profit of $260,000, which is actually really solid. It just takes a bit more time in the beginning while you're sourcing the first 20 vehicles. And that's basically it for the vehicle warehouse. The only other thing worth mentioning is that it already comes with personal quarters, meaning you can spawn inside it, which is a really nice bonus that not everyone talks about. Moving on to the first vehicle on the list, we have the Grotti Italy GTO, currently 40% off, which is amazing. That brings the price down to around $1.1 million. Starting with the customization, it's incredible. The GTO comes with huge amount of customization options, and in my opinion, they're some of the best you'll find on any car. Some of them are genuinely outstanding. You can make this car look absolutely stunning. Personally, I think it's gorgeous. As for performance, it definitely doesn't disappoint. It's got great acceleration, a solid top speed, even if it's not the absolute best in the game, good braking, and very responsive handling. Overall, I highly recommend this car. It's well priced this week, looks amazing, drives great, and offers plenty of customization options to make it your own. Definitely buy it. Now moving on to the last item on our list, before we get into the honorable mentions, we have the Comet SR, also 40% off, bringing the price down to just under $700,000, another great deal. There isn't much to say in terms of customization, it actually lacks a bit in that department. I also don't think it looks that great from the back. From the front, definitely yes, but the rear just doesn't do it for me. If it had more bumper options, maybe it could be saved, but unfortunately that's not the case. One thing to keep in mind is that if you want to, you can equip the missile lock on jammer on this car for an extra $400,000. In terms of performance, when fully upgraded, it has a great overall speed, Nothing too crazy, which is expected for the price, along with good handling and very solid brakes. For 700k, you really can't go wrong with this vehicle. The only downside for me is the rear design, which I'm just not a fan of, but everything else, excellent. Before we jump into the weekly recap, I just want to quickly go over a few honorable mentions. Starting off with the HVY Insurgent, available through the WARTSTOCK cash and carry website at 30% discount, bringing the price down to just 628k or 472k with the trade price. It's a solid vehicle, it's fast, has great armor, and definitely gets the job done. The only downside is that it doesn't have strong offensive capabilities, but if you compare it to the Insurgent Pickup Custom, you're looking at almost $1 million difference, so yeah, definitely worth it for what you pay. I highly recommend it. Now, I already have talked about the railgun last week, but if you bought it then, consider yourself a bit unlucky, because it's back again this week, this time with not 30%, not 40%, but 50% discount. If you don't own it yet, buy it now, no questions asked. Another one available in the gun van this week is the Widowmaker. It's not as strong as the railgun, or as it might seem. Compared to a regular machine gun, it only does more damage if I'm not mistaken, but also spreads out more and shoots slower. Still a fun weapon to use. Moving on to the weekly recap, for bonuses this week, we've got double money NRP on Casino Story and Work Missions, as well as triple money NRP on Featured and Community Series. And of course, diamonds in the Diamond Casino Vault are guaranteed, but I'm pretty sure it's only on the first heist you do this week. Over at LS Car Meet, the Runer ZZ8 is this week's prize ride. To unlock it, you'll need to place top 3 in any LS Car Meet races for 3 days in a row. And on the test track, we've got the Guardi Carbonazari, the Dinka Verus, and the Albany Alpha. Not too bad. As for the gun van, this week we've got for weapons the Battle Rifle, the Widowmaker, the Railgun, the Minigun, Assault SMG, and Crowbar. For throwables, we've got Molotovs, Sticky Bombs, and Pipe Bombs, and of course all the usual body armor is also available. This week's regular time trial is Mount Chiliad, the HSW time trial is Del Perro Beach, the FIB priority file this week is the Brute Force file, paying $360,000. At the salvage yard, we've got the Dinka Ballistic Angel for completing the Duggan robbery, the Pegasi Taurus for the cargo ship robbery, and the Overflot Autarch by completing the McTonery robbery. Once again, none of these are claimable. I seriously think Rockstar's out here scamming us with this salvage yard thing, not gonna lie. Over at Simeon's dealership, we've got the LCC Hexer, the Hijack Ruston, the Vapid Blade, Volker Fagaloa, and the Vapid Hustler. And once again, nothing too exciting at Luxury Autos either, just the Guardi Tally GTO and the Aube Talligator S. So yeah, that's it for this week. Honestly, some good ways to make money and great discounts, so I'd say it's a pretty solid week overall. Let me know what you think about this down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like to support the channel, and if you want to join the fam, consider subscribing, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.